Hello, Professor. We are Team 7. My name is Juan Lopez.
Sylvia Tamaris.
Yusin Patel.
Alejandro Sanchez.
Naslaidi Adames.
And Kayla Lopez.
And today we're presenting our company analysis. The PowerPoint presentation will be attached to the presentation itself. And allow me to start this presentation. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the company overview. The company that we're going to talk about is a small interior design firm. It's comprised of seasoned workers with 6+ years of experience in the company. It's an all-women staff, and they are very busy. Each member is an integral part of the team, and their contributions are necessary. Everyone is working at their maximum capacity, and everyone is working in different projects, in several projects. Now, when someone falls behind in their projects, it affects the company itself and the workflow. Now let me pass it to Sylvia, who's going to talk about the analysis and outlook.
Now the analysis in this case is as follows. There's this one employee who's having marital problems, and it's definitely affecting the workflow of her performance. It's a very emotional situation for her, and she's spending a lot of her time at work dealing and taking care of these personal problems. She's venting to coworkers, she's asking for advice, instead of completing her actual projects that are due. She's taken a couple of days here and there off from work to deal with her problems. However, she's not been able to manage them all at that time. So she's been dealing with that during work. Now the problem has persisted for several months, and she's still dealing with this at work. There was an option of wanting to hire an additional designer. However, the budget is not fitting the company's overall budget. So this was taken out of the actual consultation, or being able to, for them to be able to do it. Now, Alejandro is going to talk about the problem itself.
Okay, so the problem here is not so long ago, less than a year ago, we had a very good employee who was very responsible, very detail-oriented, always do the work on time, very good quality of work. She would even take work to home to finish it. But after her relationship with her husband started falling apart, the worst thing that she did was bring the problem from home to work. So she was daydreaming at work. She wasn't getting her work done. She was not focused at all. She was paying attention to her problems instead of the work that needed to be done. So employees and the owner started realizing that, and not even she fell behind, but the whole company fell behind because of her. Other employees needed to help her out to finish the work on time, or even fix her problems. So that's not something that a company wants to have when they're trying to expand and do better things. So where do we go from here? Do we give her some time to finish, to let her straighten her life out, or should we fire her? Should we give her a deadline? So now Kayla is going to talk about the actions plan.
One of the course of action plans that the owner could take is documenting formal meetings with the employee, addressing the problem, and following up with what was discussed. Another option could be to set goals and conduct company-wide performance reviews. Another option that the owner could do is, if the problem persists within a certain time frame specified by the owner, the employee can be placed on probation, which can result in termination for inability to perform. Or the owner can also encourage the employee to take time off and consider outlining a duration of the time that the employee take. Another course of action that the owner might consider is allocating funds in the budget for additional staff and bringing in a contractor to support or carry out projects as the company sees fit. The owner could also hire additional employees corresponding with the increased work that the company is foreseeing, or outline employee responsibilities and company expectations. And now Yoko is going to talk about correspondence.
This is obviously a very sensitive issue when employee and family issues gets involved, but there are guidelines and policies in place to solve the problem. The three areas of course concept that we fit best to this particular problem was Chapter 9, the foundation of group behavior. Another chapter was the communication chapter, and also the organizational change and stress management. In chapter 9, it is obviously a small group, so utilizing group tasks and setting specific tasks when the individual is unable to is one course of action, and that was a good course concept. Chapter 17, offering social support through employee assistance program is a course of action here versus having to allow the employee to just allowing other employees to just have personal opinions. Another course of action is definitely the communication chapter. There has to be leader directiveness here, scheduling work to be done, making sure that, everybody understood your particular task and other tasks if needs to be, and definitely maintaining definite standards of performance. And Lali will go ahead and conclude.
The main thing that we wish to remember is that in problem management, you're not solving the problem of the individual employee, but rather you're solving the problem of the situation impacting production. With this particular company, there needs to be a fine line. There needs to be a distinction between personal and professional, and that's something that the owner needs to establish for all employees. The company is not a psychologist or a marriage counselor, so they need to stay out of it. Point out the obvious and that the situation is affecting her work, and make the appropriate reprimands to go ahead and correct that issue. So these are our recommendations. We hope that they assist our fellow colleague with her work situation. And again, we are Team 7 signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you.